let's get started. Recording is now live. All right, plan for today. Topic of today is called open source intelligence. Now, just to get a poll of hands, how many people here have been to one of our OSINT talks at the Cybersecurity Club? Okay, so like a few, but not all. Then for most of you, I will be presenting this for the first time. Yeah, this will be kind of the first quote actual hands-on cybersecurity topic. So we'll be hacking from your Google browser. All right, let's get started. Bro, my tabs. Give me a second to find. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. First question I want to present to you is doxing. Does anyone care to throw out a definition for the phrase doxing? Because, well, who's heard of that phrase, doxing? Okay, good. Most people. Does anyone care to throw out a definition of the term? Guys, please. Oh.
Like sharing personal information on somebody on the internet.
Okay. Sharing personal information on the internet. I mean, I put my name and stuff on my Instagram profile. What makes doxing different from just sharing that information?
It's unconsensual.
Unconsensual?
I wouldn't say without your consent.
Yeah, non-consensual disclosure of your personal information on the internet. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much hits all the points. Doxing, finding and posting someone's personal information online, and I argue most importantly, the second point is to encourage a negative attention to them, right? I mean, I guess it's like, oh, show up at my birthday party is a positive thing, but doxing, you wouldn't consider like posting an invite. Doxing is usually done non-consensually and usually to, get people to send death threats or other kinds of negative attention. Now, I mean, in the big 26, people are still getting doxxed. But, that begs the question, why? I feel like after 20, 30 years of the internet, people have learned to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't post, go on Facebook and post my address and social security number and credit card number and like all my personal details online. But doxing still happens. So that begs the question, how does someone find all this personal information online? And I mean, doing this kind of stuff is what I would call falls into the realm of OSINT. But before giving a definition, I will let you get a feel for what OSINT is through two videos. Let me start queuing them up. See if this loads. All right. See if I remember how to use TikTok for browser. Where do I mute? Where's the... There we go. All right. Warning swears. I don't remember. I think she might say one or two swears in the video. I forget.
My nickname is the bus driver. Why? Because I'm about to take your ass to school. There was basically no information about you on your TikTok, though. Nothing about what you look like.
I guess just for some brief context about this video, someone challenged this lady to find, personal information about this guy through his TikTok account. Left a comment said, "I bet you can't find information about me." So, never spite a hacker, I guess.
Nothing about where you live, and if I Google your username, zero result. At the top, it does say JD, so I was like, maybe your first name starts with J and your middle or last name starts with D. But that was it. I do have 2 TikToks posted. Here's your dog, who is sad because you forgot to buy him a cheeseburger, in which case, you deserve federal prison. The only thing I could do was look at your followers. I always go to the bottom of your follower list first, because when you join TikTok, it asks you to sync your contacts, and your first couple followers are most likely people you know in real life. And since I didn't know anything about you, except maybe your name starts with J, I was looking for TikToks that your followers posted that maybe you commented on. Eventually I did find someone, but they were towards the top of your follower list. I was surprised. I will call her A, and you commented a few times on her profile. On a TikTok of her dog, you said, ha ha ha, he looks so concerned. On a TikTok of someone she had a crush on, you said, gotta shoot your shot. But one comment you made is the reason that I found out who you were, and it wasn't what you said, it was how you said it. In January of this year, A made a TikTok about how she went on a family vacation and bonded with her younger cousin the entire time. On that TikTok, you said, such a good time. You didn't say that looked like such a good time. You didn't say, I hope you too had such a good time. You said such a good time, which says to me that you were there. I said, let me try to find A's Instagram and see if she posted any family pictures around January for that trip. She has her full name on TikTok, so I found her Instagram right away. And on January 3rd of this year, she posted a picture of a bunch of people wearing the same glasses. This is her in the middle, and on the left is the cousin from the TikTok. So I said, let me look at the comments and the likes on this Instagram post to see if there are any people who look like the others around her. And one person who liked it has this Instagram profile picture, and they look a lot like this person on the right in A's Instagram post. That person has their full name on their private Instagram account, so I typed that full name into Facebook. First result is this person, this is their profile picture, this is their second profile picture, and that person looks a lot like the person from Instagram. But you're like, Khan, wait, how do you know this is the person from TikTok? You are just guessing. No, because this is your fifth profile picture. It's the truck! This is a photo you uploaded to your timeline. Look at the markings on this dog's face, because they're exactly the same as the non-cheeseburger having puppy on your TikTok. I looked at birthday on your profile, no helpful results, so I started looking up numbers, hoping someone was like, happy 25th birthday. Guess who you wished happy birthday on April 29th? A from TikTok, who is your cousin. And you said thanks for the birthday card, which made me think, oh, your birthday had to have been a couple days before April 29th. And I looked at the number 21 and April 26th. Look at that. Your birthday's April 26, 1991. Happy birthday, Jace. Bye. Oh, JD, you think because your profile picture is a truck that I...
Pretty good. Second example I'll throw up. Has anyone heard of the YouTuber Rainbow? All right, then for those not heard of him, he plays a game called GeoGuessr where you get thrown into a random location on Google Maps, and he uses clues and whatnot from his surroundings to figure out where he is. Now, this isn't exactly him playing GeoGuessr, but it's pretty darn close.
Last year, this person posted a photo on their flight saying, guess where I'm going? And I replied with her flight number and her seat, which gained like over 50 million views. But what I don't think what people realize is how easy it is. And more so as a public service announcement for people out there, do not post live on vacation. It's dangerous and you never know who's out there, who's watching your stuff. So a follower of mine tagged me in this photo and he said, @Jerainbolt, but can you guess my flight? And so that's what we're gonna do. I have not started this yet. No one has replied to this. It has 74 views. And so I'm gonna start a timer and see how long this takes me. I do not think this will take long. Timer starts now. What I'm first gonna do is I'm gonna find context on where this guy was around the same time he took this photo. Looks like we can see like water in the back there. Maybe he was on vacation. It looks like the flight is lifting off because low elevation and it's not landing. Doesn't look like. So we're gonna find his tweets from around the same time. So we're gonna do from and then his username until and then 2023 9/11, which will be a 2-day difference out. Sort by the latest. So he tweeted this to me on September 9th, 2023, and so we already know he's gonna be in Mexico. So this is probably, well, this is in Cabo. This is in Baja, right? And this like famous arch. I mean, this guy's giving us everything we need to know. So we have where he was. So he was in Cabo, and we even have the hotel he was staying at here. We can even find this hotel probably. And so does he have any tweets about like a flight or something? Nope, that's his only tweet. Mexico. Does he tweet anything about Cabo? No. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here to media and see if there's anything else here. Strava. Okay. New York, Hamptons. Is that consistent? New York, Brooklyn, New York. Okay, so he took a flight from presumably New York to Cabo on September 9th. There we go. So let's go to Cabo here. I'm gonna find his hotel real quick. It's just like on the water. The pool will have that little circle thingy in it. Okay, there's his hotel, taken from like right there. That's that circle thing that we saw. So confirming we're gonna be in Cabo, and I guarantee you, the Cabo Bay that has the arch? Yeah, the arch is right there. So that's for the one there, and then his hotel was right there. And he probably landed here at this international airport from New York. We can see here too, this wing is gonna be the JetBlue wing. You can see it's the same design here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a filter in Cabo. So at this airport, passenger airline, add new filter. Airline is gonna be JetBlue. Airport is going to be Cabo. Route will be from Cabo to, let's do all of New York because we don't know what airline I mean, he could, if he was living in New York at the time, he could have use Newark or anything like that. So we're just gonna click all of these. Most of these don't even have international flights, but whatever. Okay, so we have the filter now. And so then we're gonna play back on September 9th, or it'd been the 8th since I'm like a day ahead in the time zone. 3:12 a.m. here, which would be like what, 20 UTC. And there is a flight here that's leaving right when he tweeted that. JBU 938. This will be his flight. He tweeted this at 2012 UTC. To confirm this, I'm gonna load up the previous flight history here, and then I'm gonna download the KML to open it to Google Earth. And we can see here now in Google Earth, we have the whole plane that he was on, flight path. And so we can just line up where he was at that time, which is gonna be like right here. I think he was at 2011, 25, like a couple seconds later, facing like this angle right here. So we took this at exactly this time from this ping from the plane. And you can see right here, this thing behind the plane right there is this thing right here. And then we can see the line going down from like that right there with this like grass field. It just lines up. So that confirmed that this was his flight. And now we can find exactly what time he landed in New York. So he taxied at 1:45:52 UTC in New York. And we even have the aircraft type here. And so he was right behind the wing. Maybe he was in the X row here. Probably not, since there's no window seat there. So he's probably sitting in seat 23A because he was right behind the wing there, but not directly behind it. And it makes sense because his hotel did look nice and this is an upgraded seat. But yeah, that's how easy it is. And so pretty much in 10 minutes, I found his flight path, when he landed, where he took off from, his seat, and where he was staying at in his hotel. And he posted this live because his tweet came out 1 minute after he was actually in this flight based off the trajectory of where this photo was taken from. So be careful out there. I wanted this just to be more of like a public service announcement. I never post live. Well, first of all, I don't even go outside. But when I do, if I post something, I always wait till I'm home or until after the fact, because you never know who's watching your stuff or who has what intentions. So keep that in mind when you post things on the internet. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, like, subscribe, or don't. And I'll see you guys.
Okay. All right. Let me next advance back to slideshow. Okay, so that was OSINT. All right, lesson over, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, given that I've shown you these two videos and say this is what OSINT is supposed to be, open source intelligence. Anyone want to throw out ideas of what OSINT is? What were they doing? What kind of activities do you think qualifies as OSINT? Anyone want to throw out some ideas? I'm going to keep emoting until someone responds. You're going to make me dance here forever, aren't you? Oh, there we go.
Basically, like looking at like people's like social medias and like trying to make connections between like different people and like different accounts.
Yeah, sure. Social media is one. I mean, he wasn't just using social media. I mean, what other sources of, quote, supposedly open information were these people pulling from? You look like you want to raise your hand.
Not yet. Just thinking.
Yeah, flight trackers. There's a lot of them.
Google Earth.
Google Earth. That is definitely very open.
It's building connections between habits and actual people, like way of doing things. Where like if you name stuff, it's relatively something that has some connection to you.
Yeah.
Or like a habit that you're developing.
Yeah, you
go back and find some pattern or something.
Building connections, yes. And not the New York Times one. Haven't played it today. Don't spoil it. All right. Any more responses before I move on? I think the answers here have pretty much captured all the points I want to make about OSINT. Now let's see if I can find my. Okay, I'm just gonna move my mouse onto here. Yeah, that though all the points I mentioned pretty much capture the idea of OSINT. OSINT. Oh, what are these open sources? These are sources that are publicly available. Now, I mean, 99% of what is, quote, publicly available is stuff that is, on the internet, just sitting out there for people to grab. I mean, you could probably also count like a library as a publicly available source, but for, the purposes of today, we will be talking mostly about stuff you can find on the internet. And of course, the important second point is using this kind of open information to make inferences or, quote, do the intelligence gathering of open source intelligence to build a profile on someone or something. That is OSINT. So, how do you do OSINT? Well, let's just start with the basics. You have, Google, you have search engine. right now AI has gotten pretty good at summarizing information. And I mean, this doesn't just go for like cyber stalking, but this also goes for, just looking stuff up in general. If you're confused, it's like, oh, how do I don't know, just like off the top of my head, how do I SSH into a machine given an address, and how do I interpret all these user password things? Ask AI to summarize information. But I mean, AI is probably also going to be using Google and whatnot. So to avoid boiling the ocean, I'm going to show you the magic that is Google search operators. Okay, let me see if I can pull up Google. What are Google search operators? Essentially, you might have seen, well, first things first, you've probably heard of booleans, true, false. Well, Google search, also you can also use booleans. So see if I can find a helpful table. Give me a second. Search operators table. Sure, this is probably way more than you'll ever need. But essentially, these are specific keywords or symbols you can use in your Google search to narrow down operations. I mean, like how we were doing with regular expressions over, on Tuesday, Google, I don't know if they support exact regular expressions, but the idea remains the same. You can specify a specific pattern for Google to match against, whether that be in like a URL, a site title, and whatnot. So, for example, if you want to look for an exact word or phrase instead of like two separate words, like, instead of Steve Jobs, if you didn't put in quotes, you might end up looking for people named Steve, like Jack Black, or Jobs, just in general, things we don't have. But yeah. So yeah, essentially these are just ways to just narrow down searches. I mean, let me give like an example. Say you have like a username you want to look up stuff on. Oh, if you want to look for that exact username, actually, you know what? Screw it. We'll do the slide. If you've seen me in Discord, you probably know that my Discord handle is Nuclear Fizzler. Just close that. Oh, that's like everything. Sometimes it'd be like, oh, do you mean this thing? Well, if you want to be like, I exactly want to search for the exact thing I'm looking for, you hit them with the good old quotation marks. And then that's like my entire internet profile. We'll talk more about searching, about looking into people. But in general, if you just want to look for specific things on the internet, you can use these search operators. Now, there's a really funny way to chain these search operators. It's a concept called Google Dorks, where it's like certain generic websites or vulnerable web panels or whatnot, they really tend to follow the exact same patterns. So if you put in a really specific query, you can find like random people's air conditioning units that are just available on the internet. Let me give you an example. This concept is called Google Dorks or Google hacking. Once you see the search queries, you'll probably have an idea of what it does. Does anyone want to? Well, I mean, it's kind of in the name, but any idea what the first Google search query does? Using chat.
It looks for people's private SSH keys on GitHub.
Yeah, it looks for private keys in GitHub, which, I mean, if you know anything about how SSH works, is you don't want to be committing like what is essentially a login ID file, pretty much like a passwords file to GitHub. So you know what? Let's look for private keys on GitHub. All right, let's see what kind of results are we getting. Yeah, I'd like to believe that these are bait keys, but I mean,
for private repo hack.
gis dot
Oh, that's oh god.
my SSH private. Yeah, most of the time, I assume you'd have to like go into like a 10th page of search results to find people's actually private data instead of what I assume to be bait on the first page of search results. But I mean, the ways you can combine these search operators can produce very funny results. What's another one that like looks funny? I think I was looking at a very interesting one this morning. What was it? Page 2? Pages vulnerable files containing. Ooh. I don't know if this is going to send me to federal prison, but let's give it a try. Paste bin. Has this been indexed? No, it has not been indexed. But you pretty much get the idea. Pastebin is a place where people can upload anonymous copy paste. Typically a lot of hackers use it to dump breached data, and you just look for free MasterCards. See, what is another one? Ooh, Global Protect Swagger. What's like another funny one that I could look? User accounts. Oh, I think this one. But yeah, that pretty much is how it is. Google is going around indexing all of these web pages. It only takes, oh, well, someone didn't, there's nothing for this. Okay. But I think you get the idea of this idea of combining Google search operators. There's a lot of information on the internet. There's web pages being indexed constantly, some of them containing information people would rather not be put out there. So only takes the right person to look for the right things and connect the dots to produce even funnier results. So that's Google dorking. I didn't find it right now, but this morning I was looking at I think it was someone had a bunch of industrial control systems, so like internet connected web panels for, I think it was like an air conditioning unit. I was finding stuff from like ice rinks in Wisconsin. There was I mean, technically I couldn't get in because I didn't have username password, but the fact that they had these panels just open to the internet is pretty bad. But someone could find them. All right. So that's Google search operators and Google dorking. Any questions right now? All right. Good. Okay. So now to the juicy part. It's not just Google that has the resources to do OSINT. I know it's brought up, there's flight trackers, there's social media stalking, there's a lot of information out on the internet that people might not be comfortable with. So instead of, it would probably take me 3 hours to talk through every single bit of website that could provide you insights into something. So I'm going to just start with a website of tools, and I'm going to do some real challenges. Now, in cybersecurity competitions, there's a challenge category called OSINT, and that involves you going through people's setup profiles ahead of time to be like, oh, connect the dots and figure out more about this person's identity. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It's going to be the first one. Let's see. Just pop this into the next tab. All right. Ethan, Nikhil, do you mind posting the link in Discord? This is publicly available, so if you want to follow along, feel free to. But yes, Medium.
I'm gonna send anything out on our Discord server.
Sounds good. So right now I'm going to go through and just work through these puzzles and show you kind of various techniques for doing OSINT, and hopefully it's a fun challenge in the process. Okay, let's start with starts with it, password MSX truth. And just go onto it. Oh, I'm trolling. Give me a second. Let me change the screen share to duplicate. Change the OBS capture to my monitor. Okay, can everyone see the website? We still have this. Everyone good? All right. Anyone need a bit more time to just pull it up? Or are we good to go? Give me a temperature check. All right. Appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about it. What is the So Emma is a journalist. She's gone missing. Let's use some clues in the data to try and figure out what's going on. Okay, what's the URL of the website where Emma's investigation begins? Well, amazing skyline. I often tweet about hidden truths. Well, seems that investigation starts with this website. So you know what? I hope that. Oh, all right, freebie. What is the website? Thank you. I appreciate it. What's the title of the blog post that starts the trail? Any title looking things in here? Anything on this page that looks like a title? Guys, please. Yes, thank you. City Secrets. I hope this is. I think they're just trying to give you a couple one. Okay, so this is just basic. Did you read? What phrase in the blog post hints at Emma's social media activity? Would anyone like to see if anything in here talks about social media activity?
I often tweet about hidden truth.
What? No way! Wait, hold on. I gotta check it first. Please. It's really okay. Tweet about hidden truths. So now the implication goes that she has a social media account somewhere, and people have a habit of reusing usernames. So you know what? Let's see if she has a Twitter account. I do not use Twitter regularly, so instead of logging into Twitter, because I don't like to, there's actually a very nice viewer for Twitter where you can just log in and use it without an account. Bruh. It's called Xcancel. I really like using this because it allows me to bypass all the login restrictions, and you can just look at all the tweets without having to go on Twitter stuff. Like, well, I don't. This is okay. Can you know what? This is a more inspiration. I was about to say go on Elon Musk to check if this works, but that's depressing. So let's go on like something that's slightly less. Yeah. Okay, so Twitter works. In the meantime, I think Emma often uses the username online Emma Truthseeker. So you know what? I'm gonna plug it in Twitter and see if Emma has an account. Interesting. There are 2 tweets. Are there any more tweets? There are no more tweets. Okay, this is all we have to work with, but this is another clue that we could work with to find things. Let's go back and look at the challenges. What's the file name of the photo linked in the blog post? Does anyone have an idea how to look at in the back? Any idea how to look at links in the photo? Inspect element, sure. Let's pull up inspect element. I think it's control I on fire. That's not control U. That's source code. Control shift I, yes. I too use Firefox. Bruh. Okay, I got frustrated. I'm just gonna open up the source code.
Open image in new tab and it shows the URL.
That is true. Open image in new tab. Interesting. Okay. Okay, well, we know the name of the file right now. So file name, the photo link in the blog post, cityscape.png. Okay. Hooray! Okay. Now this photo I gotta look at. Oh, interesting. In this link, it's linked to a GitLab. GitLab, if you probably know, it's like GitHub, but not GitHub. It also hosts Git repositories. So here's another account that might belong to Emma. It's a Git repository. Let me just pull that up over here. Groups, and looks like not too much activity. I just want to make sure I'm checking everything. But there's a repo. Interesting. Okay, where was the photo taken? If I assume this cityscape photo. Okay. So photos, you might have heard the phrase metadata before. Metadata being, quote, data about data. In this case, images often embed metadata, which is just information about the image inside the image. It's in a form called EXIF. I forget what it stands for, but I just call it EXIF. It often stores things about like, oh, if you have iPhone geotagging, it'll store, where was this photo taken? What's the resolution? Maybe sometimes it's like, who took the photo? As because we all know what an EXIF is, we could probably load it up into some kind of tool to see what, look at the metadata.
Have you ever used like the Photos app on your phone and you store a location, for example? You can like open the Photos app and you'll be able to see where you took a photo. It's because that data is being stored within the photo or alongside the photo in EXIF. I looked it up. It's exchangeable image file format, so it shows metadata about the image within the image.
And it's like attached to the image, so it doesn't matter if the image is like a PNG, a JPEG, SVG. I don't. HEIC, the evil Apple format. It doesn't matter what kind of format the image is in, it'll usually have like this EXIF data embedded inside of it.
What if the image is plugged and you're just pulling it out?
What if the image is what?
Plugged. Like,
So it wouldn't do anything unless you have a way to execute the image, I guess. So like sometimes this is a conversation for later, but
if you are a Linux user and you don't know how to open images with the terminal and you say /image.png because there's no GUI.
that might be useful.
well, it's a ciphertext as a comment to an image.
Sorry?
Who writes a ciphertext as a
Peop-
comment to an image?
People who like cybersecurity competitions. So me. Okay.
What's the equal sign at the end of comment?
So I think we'll talk to that once we get there, but appreciate it for now. So 2 ways of viewing EXIF. Of course, there's a plenty of tools online to view EXIF information. So it's like EXIF. Viewer online. Whoa, there is a ever so convenient app that does everything I want. Give me my downloads. And okay. Okay, there's not a lot of data. Second way to do it is there's a command line tool if you use Linux. I was about to hit Control Alt T. I realized I don't have that on Windows. Downloads.
Taken from unsplash.com.
Shh. Bro. Windows user struggling to use basic technology. Okay. I think it's called EXIF tool. Okay, I don't have it installed for some reason. I guess I'll install it. Bro. Wait. Is the other password. I don't use Windows all that much anymore. Sorry, y'all. And yet, okay. It's a way so you can just download command line tool. I mean, the browser pretty much is just running this command line tool anyway, but it's just displaying it in a friendly web page, so you don't have to install yourself. But let me just tool. Let's see, cityscape.jpg. Okay. Looks like it gave me a lot more information than the web page did. So I'm gonna say this web page sucks and is cringe. I'm gonna use this one instead. I think. Downloads. Okay, this pretty much. I mean, again, it just runs EXIF tool, but it produces pretty much the similar results. Oh, they didn't embed. Okay, so looks like this. The original question was the whole reason we're doing this metadata thing is, do we know where the photo was taken? It didn't really embed the metadata into the image. I mean, if you like look at your iPhone images, it might actually have a field that just says like, oh, coordinate taken, and then where it was taken. But in this case, whoever made the image was nice enough to tell us in a comment location where this was taken in degrees and degrees. So, photo taken exact GPS coordinates. I'm just gonna copy paste this. and see if this gets okay. Perfect. Now where does Emma call home? Well, this is probably just a matter of pasting in the actual coordinates we found into Google Maps. Does anyone have the answer already? I don't remember off the top of my head where this is. Down, say again.
Manhattan by Hudson River.
I don't know where the Hudson River is, but yeah, this definitely looks like Manhattan. Yep, downtown New York. So why is there okay? I'm about to get trolled, aren't I? Oh.
You gotta go to the blog. Click on that.
What'd you say? Sorry, would you repeat that?
You gotta click on map. So if you scroll up,
Yeah.
you click on map on
True. It's been a while since I've done this challenge. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, this person just very much loves to put things, just list things on the map. Hawaii. Okay, so I was trolled by the image. They don't actually live in New York City, but they actually live in Hawaii instead. Yeah, that's why I was thinking. It's like there's no way the answer is New York City. Okay, back to the photo. Where's the exit data? So I guess this is specific to mostly cybersecurity competitions in general, but whenever you see a random string of like letters, you probably think they're trying to hide something. This data is either encoded or encrypted in a way that, I mean, I probably can decode, but as soon as you see random stuff, it sticks out saying this is hidden data. So I gotta decode whatever this message is. Equals. Yeah, in the user comments. Does anyone want to throw out what they think the encoding is? This is very. If it looks familiar. It is base 64. Let me just pull up a tool that I use. So, CyberChef. So base 64 is it's a common way of just like quickly hiding messages. It's not actually encryption because all you need to decode it is just say like decode this thing, decode base 64. In fact, actually,
Link to this also.
I will use the very helpful command line tools that we have been talking about instead of using websites. Base 64. How do I? Oh,
I'll send the link regardless for anyone interested because it's pretty helpful for a lot of challenges. TFs.
yeah. But if they want to like basically hide, essentially, if someone wants to hide data in a way that's like really obvious that it's hidden data and relevant to a challenge, they'll probably hide in base 64. Sometimes if you want to just so base 64 decode go string. I hope this is how
You get to
input it. Bro, I'm being trolled. Akil, help.
Oh, you would want to. I would echo it because this is still looking for files. So you want to echo it and pipe it.
So real. What?
For echo, you don't need to put quotes unless you want it to be parsed specifically as a string. So if you don't put quotes, then it'll still parse it. It'll parse it like basically like an array. So each space separated word is an element.
Yeah. So to answer the question, what is the equal signs at the end of base 64? Well, one, it's a sign that is usually base 64. Base 64, if they just want to like pad characters to fill out, because according to the specification, each letter has to be like so much. I don't remember the exact specification, but essentially, if you see equal signs at the end, it's padding, and it's definitely a sign it's base 64. Sometimes it doesn't appear, but you can still like just feed into base 64 and decode it. But okay, the key to my secrets is liberty. Interesting message. I sure wonder what there's anything inconspicuous about that. Good.
I think just copy and paste the original.
Oh, right. So that is so cringe. Thank you, Al. I forgot. Okay, they didn't want the actual decoded message, but hidden message. Okay, what's the name of the cafe that is referenced? Man, wait. Swear there was a cafe somewhere. Liberty Cafe. Excellent. So hopefully, I mean, this is. I hope this is relatively self-explanatory. The key is in the art. Interesting. We've seen something reference about key. The key to my secret is liberty, and then the key is in the art. So that might be something relevant to. I don't know. Where is the repo? There we go. Huh. Some kind of very inconspicuous secret.zip file. Nothing special here. Fascinating. Okay, so what's the unlock code for the zip file in the repository? Does anyone want to shout it out? It might be. I'm running out of battery, sir. Okay, key to my secret is liberty. Evil and intimidating secret. Okay, so you know what? Let's just try opening it. Extract all. There we go. And password protected. Let's try the password that they've been implying, liberty. Lowercase. Yeah, lowercase.
If you didn't know, you could just guess it until you find it.
Interesting. What are these coordinates? Let me just paste it. So far, I know this looks like a very contrived exercise to just like, oh, let me play treasure hunt with a bunch of different things. But the point is to just show you that, oh, homelessness? Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so it's the middle of Central Park. Sorry, I had to. Okay. Okay, so something about Central Park. What are the coordinates in the unlocked repository? I need to find the coordinates again. Go. Central Park. Message in Emma's tweet. We already looked at her. Okay, this is a pretty interesting. Art is key, and it's a scrambled message. Interesting. Okay. Has anyone here heard of Caesar cipher? Caesar cipher. Does anyone want to just throw out the definition for what it does?
It is hard to describe.
Shifts and characters for each character.
You have the same answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a cipher that shifts. Well, in the modern version is called rot 13 because it rotates with 13, but you know, it's like, oh, you can rotate it. Now, here's a very astounding revelation. What if instead of rotating all the letters by the same amount, you rotated all the letters by a different amount? That's crazy. And you know what? Someone came up with it already, unfortunately. That kind of cipher is called Visionaire. Key. Wow, I sure wonder what the key is. Anyone see the screen okay? Just making sure it's like large enough for everyone to see. And you know what? Let me just plug the so-called secret message. Is in row. Trying to remember. Where is it? Rail fence. Yeah, some of the cybersecurity challenges is just like, oh, can I guess at what random thing the author was using to decode it? So I'm trying to remember how the decoding. A art. Wait. No, that didn't do anything. Yeah, something. Yeah, challenges. Working key is in the arts. Meantime, I will just try and clear out all the challenges while I think about it in the back of my head. Okay, what is Emma's email encoded in base 64? There's actually two interesting ways to this solution. First one was, if you look at the README, this again looks like some random jumbled data, so I'm just gonna throw things at it until I get a solution. You know, could it be base 64? Because that's always my first thought when I see some, oh, interesting. If you want to email, so Emma's email address was actually hidden in the kind of secret message. It was, again, base 64 again. But actually, there's a second way to find Emma's email addresses. So everyone remember when you set up Git, it forces you to do git config, and then you have to set a username and an email that's kind of associated with every commit. Well, even when stuff is uploaded on a repo on a website like GitLab or GitHub, you can actually still find that information even if someone chooses not to make it public. The secret is to go into commit history, find the specific folder for the repo, and just like go .patch. Does it work? It works on GitHub, but not GitLab. I'll demonstrate it on GitHub. Okay, someone name a random open source repository. Internet Archive. Let's see if that's on GitHub. GitHub, Internet Archive. Internet Archive. My mouse keeps on. Really loves to go there. Internet Archive. Do they have any repos? Yes, they do. They have a repo named Book Reader. Looks like this person just merged a pull request. And if I go to their specific commit, view commit details, I do .patch. Oh, wow, that's someone's email address. Associated with, what was the account more? With this GitHub username, we just found their email address. GitHub does have an option to turn it off to be like, oh, don't use my actual email address in the commits. Sign it with like a privacy redacted. Akil, do you have it turned on yours? Okay, you know what? Let me just like look at Akil's. There's a username ECS198F on GitHub.
That's not that
This is the website. So, no, I'll just do like, I'll just run it for comparison. So like patch file, you can see I have not bothered to turn on that privacy option, and I have an email address that is very easily guessable. But Akil, being a very privacy-minded person,
see it like not have to be on.
Oh, yeah, you see that if you turn on, there's like a setting you can tick in GitHub to automatically assign you not like your actual email address that you use in your commits, but it's one that's, users no reply GitHub.
So you can make your GitHub accounts using like your personal email account, like your personal Gmail, your personal Outlook or something. But then you can have GitHub make it so that whenever you make a commit, it's using your anonymized.
Yeah, you should.
That's on by default, if I'm not mistaken.
It's on by default?
Maybe now it is.
Now, yeah, maybe now it is.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to go and like stalk random people on GitHub, you should go look at their commits, run the patch file, and see if you can find an email address. Actually, I was doing that to the OpenClaw maintainers this morning. Was Emma's email encoded in base 64? I'm not going to copy like the exact bytes that correspond. I'm just going to re-encode it because I am lazy. But okay. What is the message in Emma's tweet? I gotta think through if I remember how to do this. Okay. Art is key. Art is key. This does look like a shift cipher. It does look like someone just shifted a bunch of letters over. It's not an actual random encoding. So,
It's not correctly. You don't have to decipher it.
say again.
You don't have to decipher it. You just want that on the cipher.
Are you serious? I'm
crashing out.
I'm crashing out. Are you serious? What? There wasn't even anything to decode. Well, I hope it was decodable. Hold up.
It is decodable, but it doesn't end in meaning. It just says the location is hidden.
The location is hidden.
Yeah.
How did you decode it? Was it? It is a rod cipher. Okay. Let me just show it just for the recording. So it is a rotation cipher. Again, it's not called Caesar cipher in the CyberChef app, which I will shill as like very good because it includes like a bunch of other things you can encode and decode, and we will probably use it for in the future. And it's also written by the British intelligence agency. So I love spy agencies writing useful software. In the meantime, just rotate it. Oh man, wasn't even. What's the point? What's the point even? What was the point? Yeah. So okay, all right. Now that the challenge is completed, claim your certificate. I gotta feel something for all the pain. I gotta feel something for all the pain that I've been put through. Okay. Any questions about? Well, the point is not the. Okay. I don't know why this keeps on happening. The point is not to like just walk through the scavenger hunt. The point is to show off kind of some of the techniques associated with OSINT. Any questions about anything I've shown so far? So social media, investigating, GitHub, repos, metadata, and whatnot.
What if someone else had the exact same username? Like this person on Facebook. Also his name Emma's the truth seeker.
Well, it's probably out of scope. In the context of a challenge, they will very narrowly define, do not poke at anyone's accounts made before this day. But in the real world, of course, it's kind of
if you're doing something in the real world, then you try to find ways to make sure if you find a new account, you'll try to verify that it's the same person. That you're not looking at someone else who happens to have the same.
Yeah, like we saw in the TikTok. There's two ways to verify. How do we know that the guy profile she was looking at wasn't like some random dude? Well, match the car, match the guy. So yeah.
Well, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what's the website to use for Twitter?
For Twitter, X cancel.
I guess I'll send it. Yeah.
It's I believe the project used to be called Knitter, but that's been shut down. But now X cancel works.
There's like re-upload or re.
Yeah, it's like a mirror. But yeah, it's view tweets without having to log into that hellscape known as X. I refuse to call it Twitter. Or sorry, I refuse Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Guys, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Feed them to death with hammers. Okay. Okay. That was like kind of a challenge to. Well, I want to say that was a warm up, but that was very much more painful than I had wanted to be. So. Okay, let's do a second one. This one is on the Try Hack Me website. It will require you to create an account, but thankfully it is free. So I'm trying to work through. I have not done this before, so I will also be fumbling through this for the first time, but I hope to just explain kind of the thinking process that I use for these kinds of challenges. Okay.
A lot of times with any type of hacking, which will be this lecture and I think the next two, you find paths that you eventually reach dead ends. So when you're doing these challenges for the first time, don't be discouraged if something doesn't work out. Like if you're just going on the box and trying a challenge by yourself, don't be discouraged if something doesn't work. It takes patience, but eventually you do get down the right path.
Yeah. Right.
And there's lots of videos that go over guides. If you're curious about hacking bots.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a solution key. Someone's already solved this challenge and made a Medium article detailing exactly how to solve it, but I'll try not to use it right now. No, I'm so smart. I would never use a solution. Why would you accuse me of it? Okay. Okay. First order is so we've got to track down the digital footprint of this jet company. Can we figure out where this picture was taken? Now we gotta play GeoGuessr. That's always great. 2018 Google. Okay, so far it's not a lot of clues. The only thing I think might be useful is like this thing called the rectory, just like this nameplate, and I genuinely cannot make out the number for that's on ADT, but I like to assume that's a phone number on the bottom. So you know what? Let's start Googling. Yeah, the challenge is called digital footprint. I will. Do you mind? Actually, Akil, if you go in the, it's listed on. Yeah, it's on the notes.
Also, ADT is American. Like if you.
ADT arm response. That is true.
Stands for American. Wait.
That is true. Okay,
Yeah,
ADT.
the A stands for American.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? The first thing I can think of is just I want to look at the rectory house. So you know what? I'm just gonna start googling. The rectory using the quotes. I want the exact house name place. Doesn't look too useful for now. Let me just like look at ADT because I want to say they operate. They are an American company, but bought out. Do they operate overseas? Britain? No. Okay. Alternate. You know what? Let's do another way of finding it. Has anyone here heard of reverse image search? All right, then I'll just briefly explain it. Instead of searching for like words corresponding to the image, you plug an image into a search engine, and then it'll try and find like where that image has been located in the past. So you know what? Let's use reverse image search for this. I have a feeling that the first 5 results are all going to be try hack me, but wow, they're all try hack me write-ups. That is, who would have known? The Rodney. Let's do exact matches. These are all
The secret Chinese file.
visual matches. These are all. I don't want to go directly onto websites like, haha, here's the answer, guys. But yeah, this doesn't look too great so far. You know what? Maybe images is not the way. Let's try looking at the metadata because, let's see. So exif grep. I'm gonna exif tool, run it through. Let's see. What was it? Edit house. Whoa. Okay, that was it. That was the key. GPS position. We've got degrees, minutes, seconds, which no one uses anymore except for like very niche math competitions. But I will try and let's try and find out where this is. What city was this photo taken? Johannesburg, South Africa. Akil, you lied. ADT. It did not stand for I don't know if that was American ADT. That might have been South Africa without the South. Okay, so Johannesburg. Here's another thing. In a lot of cybersecurity challenges, they ask you the format their kind of challenges to answers. It will be formatted in a very specific way, so you know that it's not just like some random jumble of text. It'll be like some special indicator, left brace, some text, right brace. So you see that flag format is like THM, left brace, city. So I say like THM. What? I have no idea, man. I just copy pasted. Johannesburg. Did I spell it correctly? Okay, that's it. I'm copy pasting. Johannesburg. Hooray! Okay. We know that Acme Jet, they're somehow tied to Johannesburg, South Africa. Acme Jet Solutions is all over social media claiming they were founded in 2025 and the fastest growing data. Why is a jet company selling data? Okay, whatever. They claim they were founded in 2025, but one of their ex-employees assures you the company existed long before that. Verify the founding date using only public information. Okay, when was the website first published on the internet? I believe someone brought it up already, but has anyone here heard of Wayback Machine? Wayback Machine. You go on websites, they go and take snapshots of websites at regular intervals, and then you can look at old information that might no longer be there. So you know what? Let's put this into was it I think archive.org. Yes. Just okay. I'm just curious if is this website accessible normally? Okay, it's not normally. Workacme.com. All over social media is in public. Okay. While this, I guess it will fail to find it, but let's try Google search operator. Google might have indexed it at some point. So let's give it a try. Maybe not with the slash. See if this works. Okay, still no results. That is concerning. Verify their founding date over only using public information. Has this website been registered before? Okay, well, website registry information belongs to a thing called Whois. Ethan was talking about the command Whois earlier. Frankly, you don't need a command line to access it. You can just run it, go to a website, and go to like Whois, and it'll tell you who owns a website. So, I mean, just for example, datacybersec.org, who owns it, and I believe most websites today, if you register, you're forced to provide some personal information. Well, I just lied about the personal information, but you can ask that it be redacted for privacy, and most people do it by default. But let's see. Interesting. Okay, it's not registered. Okay. Websites. I do think Internet Archive is the way to go, but I can't think of. Just do this. Thinking. Workacme.com/Jeff. I appreciate the backup. Okay, it's not been archived. Has anyone been able to get any hits so far? I'm just asking the crowd for advice at this point.
Okay, don't do it in Internet Archives. Do it in don't do it in Wayback Machine. Do it in Internet Archive.org.
I am just working off of Internet Archive.
They have another search bar, so if you just go to the page, click the search bar.
Okay, let's see.
My GPS is somehow taking me to new value in Egypt.
In Egypt. Go.
Maybe doing wrong.
Okay, this is bugging and
so when you go to archive.org.
What? I was on archive. Okay, that's
a bit weird. So
that is kind of goofy. Okay.
Oh, remove the HTTP.
Yeah, if you search it in here. Okay, for some reason.
So the Wayback Machine stores cached pages. The Internet Archive also just has files, so they'll host like a lot of like old music they have on there, for example.
But yeah, the classic example I'd like to use for UC Davis, for Internet Archive is looking at how expensive the residence halls have gotten. So I mean, I'll just like demonstrate like what I would expect out of let's see, where's the okay, UC Davis dining and housing residence hall cost fees. There we go. Resident hall fees. And they really don't want to tell you how much it cost 2 years before. So you know what? I'm gonna throw it at the Wayback Machine. I think there was a PDF. Well, you can see that they have a very obvious. This is like how much it costs for 2026. How much did it cost when I was living in the dorms? Well, I mean, this doesn't exist, but does this exist? And what did you look at it? They are. Let's just let's just for funsies see how much the university charges for residency. What? It's gone up like $2,000. Bro, look at this. Thanks to the Internet Archive, you can find out that university is charging has increased the price of living in dorms by $2,000 in 2 years. Public information. This is good to know.
Parking by like $2 in like 8 years.
Yeah, parking. Yeah, no. Who cares about how much housing is costing? Parking. That's an outrage. That's an outrage. Okay. Okay, and that's enough for the bit. I gotta find the actual archive company website. You said it was here, Kyo? Yes.
Without the Asian.
My name, Jeff.
Just like copy paste exactly.
My name, Jeff. And it looks like it was added in 2016. Jeez, that is a long time ago. Year, month, day, hour, minute, second. Wait. This looks relevant. Hooray! Okay, let's look at another image. This looks like to be just I'm guessing from the way it's described, it's just going to be a geolocation one. There's no EXIF data. At the top, Dublin. Apples and lychees. Building of the name of the building translated to English as the flag. Okay. Dublin spire looking thingy. Spire of Dublin. That's actually what it's called. Okay. Bro. I will bring a mouse pad the next time I'm here. Yeah. Oh, wait. Do I need like underscores?
I'll remove the spaces.
Name of the building translated. Oh, Monument of MONU SPIR. I'm looking at the right. Am I looking at the right? Signs on the external wall provide the name of the building. Oh, guys, reading is important. Research reveals to the right of the landmark is a building. I'm trolling. Let's pull up Google Maps. Okay. Dublin. And to its right is an important music. The post office. General post. Okay, that does look relevant to. That does look like enough dashes for general post office. Hooray! And the last one, internal document leaked by one of the company's developers. What is this? ODT. Hopefully they haven't given me a virus. Any questions about what I've done so far? Just checking in. Temperature check. All right. Okay, I will be hidden text in here? No. Is there anything about is there any metadata about who wrote? Oh, bruh. What did bro do? Don't publish this externally? Okay, that's fun. I will release a video. Is there like a hidden? Internal document may contain crucial information to Robin. Okay, this might be fluff. Bruh. Thinking. Okay, internal document, pages last modified. No, that's just, yeah. Bruh. Please speed, I need this. Crucial information. Okay, releasing a video very soon. Could I search on YouTube? That might be an avenue I want to go down. What's another avenue? Multiple optimized data queries. Okay, you know what? Let's just look up Marf Acme Jet Systems or whatever. Acme Jet Solutions. Okay, this is like an actual company. Document may contain crucial. So it might be illustrating out the document itself. Author last modified by, it does not have any of that. Does it have EXIF data? It's not an image. Only images have EXIF data. Any ideas? Okay, investigating. Okay, unfortunately, we are running a little short on time, so I will just try and run through a live scenario that is, so far these have all been like very contrived, straightforward challenges with an answer and a solution. But what does OSINT look like when you're going through an open-ended problem where you just say find as much information as possible? And to that, I raise one of the competitions we've been in, collegiate penetration testing competition, where they just say, here's a company name, find everything you have about that competition. So they gave us a Discord message saying the company you will be hitting is All Ports Tours, and from there, and they say find out everything you can about the company through here. The website itself is pretty bare bones. I have a feeling it was may have been cooked up. But, I mean, it's just, well, I mean, this is pretty interesting. They have a list of users. What can a list of users produce? Actually, I'll just cut straight to the answer because we're running short on time. How many of you use your actual names in like your UC Davis usernames? We use the format like first initial last name or like some kind of variation of it. Well, okay, I have a list of users. I can definitely start generating emails, usernames that I could try attacking. Looks like they have listed some interesting tech here. Chief Information Security Officer, Director of Technical Services. They lead IT. So you know what? Let me just start looking if these people are associated with the company. So like David Carter, All Ports Tours, Bailey Finn, All Ports Tours. Who put their competition report on Cliff's Notes? That's actually pretty funny. Let's see. Looks like they've made some changes in the website, but if I look at this, marketing. Well, really popular place to look for stuff about a company is just go through GitHub. So if I just go on like All Ports Tours, wow, this is like, okay, let me just, looks like a team has actually gotten to it. Oh, what's this? Looks like their website is actually a GitHub site, and it looks like they have a lot of interesting things. So if you probably know this already, but Git, it saves every edit you make. So if you accidentally like commit passwords and API keys to GitHub, you can't really take it off because the history's saved. Once you change it, the old version's still there. So Oh wow, looks like there's a very interesting number of posters that they've added. Index.html have some. That's just some random HTML code, but add marketing posters. See if what these marketing posters look like. They're load. It might take a while to load.
Yeah, we can go over the Slack.
Sure. All ports north. So far it's just okay. There's a phone number I can probably ring and try and fish people with. I think there was marketing posters. They deleted a bunch of files. They added a bunch of files. .png. Okay, we're running short on time, but these are pretty much, I will just run through all the findings we went through in like 2 weeks. So found the website, found who wrote the code, just try and check who owns it. We found that, oh, they had DNS records. We ran DNS records, see what they had. They had Microsoft accounts, so we know that they use Outlook, and we could maybe try attacking those during the competition. We found Bailey Finn's email address because of the funny trick with GitHub patches, and now we know that, oh, their username format is actually first name dot last name. So actually, I could just use that to generate an exact list of who I want to target with accounts. Valid emails, and oh, Bailey Finn, what are they doing? It looks like they had a bunch of Minecraft related repos. So I mean, they like Minecraft. I see, and oh, really like Minecraft. So essentially, this is kind of a feels like a bit of a random open-ended exercise. But the whole point is, when you don't have a target and your objective is just to scrape up as much information as possible, using this kind of information and random people leaking stuff, you can actually build a pretty substantial profile. So you're not just going in blind when you hack something. All right. Approaching max time. Akil, do you have the solution? Yeah. All right. Solution. What's the solution for the last one?
So do you still have it open in Word? I'm not sure if it shows in Word, but it was an ODT file, so I opened it in LibreOffice.
Yeah.
You can keep it up.
You can. Okay. I don't know if shows. I mean, it's open in
It
Word.
might be here. So you want to. So as Jason mentioned, you can't use EXIF tool to look at metadata, but you can use your Word editor will have a way to do it. Like you can. There was 2 ways to do it. So either you can open the file in Word and then look through the metadata, and it'll have a username in it. Or you can change the file type from ODT to zip, and then if it's a zip, you can extract that zip file, and then it'll have this thing called meta.xml, and you can open that. I didn't feel like doing all that, so I just did it directly. And
Yeah. If you didn't know, all Word files and Excel files, they're actually zip files in disguise. So that's what the X stands for. They're like actually XML and zip files. So if you just rename Word files to like .zip, you can extract them and pull a bunch of data. I'll just do it real quick. Rename f2 .zip. Yes. It will not become troll face emote. Works on Linux. Oh,
it did work on Linux, yeah.
I'm crashing out.
It's Microsoft, so you have to.
Such a hit. Is it this one?
Yeah.
Please.
It worked. It opened an Edge.
Please, I need this.
There you go. Internal username.
All right.
And you can open that in YouTube. Or did it ask for it? I forgot.
Was it? Is it? I mean, it said like publish a YouTube. So yeah. All right. I mean, the solutions on people have written up thousands of solutions. So if you want to like finish it yourself, you can. But boat. Oh, okay. Final flag. All right. Okay. Wait. I actually have to. Chat. I might crash my browser with this. What's it called? Digital forensics? Oh, digital footprint. There we go. I'm rapidly expanding my own digital footprint with all of these fumbles. Please, I need I need this. This Edgerome is trolling me.
It'll work eventually.
I'm crashing. I'm crashing out. I'm crashing. Yes. All right. Okay, that was the hosted lecture. Thank you for coming, everyone. If you need more, most of the actual tools are. I encourage you to go on GitHub and just click through and find stuff. I believe there will be OSINT on the next assignment. So
Three, not two.
three, not two. But okay. Thank you, everyone. Dismissed.